I have a bigger audience now, so now I'm gonna be unfiltered. So this is real time. Isaiah, aren't you gonna, talk about how much money you've made, like quarter by quarter? They want us to keep silent about it. They also don't want us to narrate money. They want it to flow naturally. So the way it works is you just become the average of the community. So they can do two things. They can make everyone richer, and then they give you money, which is I think what they're doing, where it's like, we're gonna make all the really strong people rich, and then they just come out their way for you. Or two, they can pay you in advertisements or sponsorships or whatever. So if I've given a company a commercial, they may literally send me a check in the mail. I went to a verified school, they may send me a check in the mail. This is honestly what I think is gonna happen with me. This is gonna be something that, this is why I'm on the street. They're gonna give me a gigantic check. This is gonna probably be one of the biggest checks you've ever seen someone get. And it's a pleasantry, and it's probably gonna be like $1.2 billion. And they're gonna say, why? It'll be liquid cash. And I say, because when I started music, they made up their mind on how they wanted to pay someone. Do you pay? It's the same concept of like, well, I was like, Scarlett Johansson, like she's supposed to be the most paid or the highest paid, like how does that work? Like, do they pay you before when you wear something or after, or like, but eventually you see they get paid what they're worth on paper. So I think she's the highest paid now. I know she's like, as this piece of paper, stop blowing this up. But for the most part, like she put a lot of time in and everything, and you see it. She Google spread everything and all that stuff. So I think this will be the biggest check you guys have seen. But it'll be like something like $1.2 billion cash. So this is a written check from a billionaire, straight cash. $1.2 billion. They announced that Isaiah's check is $1 billion check. They may even say we upped it. He gets a $10 billion check, and they write a $10 billion check. And in that $10 billion check, there's like a whole bunch of like things you got to do and all this stuff, and things they'd like you to do for that. But my check is going to be like a ridiculous amount of money like that. It'll be a gigantic one from a business. It won't be like I have my liquid, obviously like you guys are listening, your fans, but those companies can sincerely pay you ahead of time for what you've given them, or like anyone can. Oh, I'll give an example. The government can. They could say, Isaiah, just ask us for subsidies, we'll give you that. We'll give you all in subsidies. But for contributing to a business or giving them a commercial, they can give you a stupid fat check after a long time. That's their decision. So they'd be like, oh, so what about your awards? That's the part that is going to confuse people. I'm independent, so it's fun when I share my stuff. You have Billboard. Anyone that's independent can get on Billboard. You can compete. It's not rigged if you work hard and you have a real fan base. They can buy your album and you can literally rank as one of the highest paid or documented as one of the highest, like they'll talk about your sales like on Forbes. This guy ultimately in 10 years or whatever sold X amount of records or something. So I've sold a lot. And you can see in real life that I've sold a lot. And they say, so I want to see those awards. I said, I wanted to verify it with producers that I'm good too. So I have my music, and then now I'm expanding through other producers. So I'm going to tell you kind of what's going on right now, and it's going to kind of confuse people. And I'm sorry. There's people that think music is funny, or they think it's a joke, or is he really serious? He wants to do music. And so in this city, you have people, just like football, who don't believe that that's a real job or a real profession. And it is one of the most, I'm letting you know, ironically, music is one of the most lucrative businesses right now that anyone telling anyone, like, that you don't make, it looks like a very unintelligent, think of like a musician, like an artist or someone that does a sculpture. It's like the time warp trio. So you're seeing someone spread like Yeshua. They're putting that you're getting on their, like, a tattoo of their song, or you're in their house, or that's their favorite song. Like, you're literally attaching yourselves to, you know, to time. So my situation, I may have gone to like infinity. I know I'm past infinity in an archive. It means surviving. So I'm getting credit because I'm prolific, and it's my identity. Benji Yang, I'm gonna use Benji Yang and Sci-Host. These are platinum producers. Oh, and the crates. These are platinum producers. So when they say, do you have any credits of producers? I have platinum selling producers, and they've produced for me. What does platinum selling mean? That means they're verified through like DistroKid, Spotify, Forbes. They're verified. Like, all these companies are verifying them as good artists, and I have their production. So since they sold and it's verified, I'm using their verified music, and now I have a whole bunch. So I made a whole bunch of now I have a whole bunch of platinum selling records, or potential platinum selling songs, and all I have to do is put them in a store. So what's going on with my store thing? There's a lot of behind the scene things that you guys don't know, and I'll just talk about it. They'll be like, oh, we want Isaiah to keep sound. This is a very lucrative business. So when people lose money, or they find out that there is a lot of money in music, they get pissed. I should just leave it at that. If I go any further than that, it'll be like, what do you mean this guy made, like, let me see. What do you mean this guy made 70 million in a year? What do you mean this guy just made $200 million in a year? What do you mean this guy made a fortune in a year? What do you mean this guy dropped a song and he made $50 million in a year? What do you mean this guy just bought a Bugatti? They start to get pissed. Why? Because of, like, money. Like, it's money. So people are starting to realize this stuff makes a lot of money. It's not a joke anymore. You really push something independent, they want a part of it, or they want to know how, or they want to know, can we make more money off of it? And so that's what's going on. And it's I would do the same thing if I was them. I'd be curious. And that's what you guys are seeing. You're seeing the truth come out. The truth. The truth. Like, the truth meaning, like, when someone says, can you get blackballed? I just told you that music, it just got out. They're not broke. They're rich. These people are making tons of money. They're like, I'll say it like this in a genius kind of like way so you can see it. Every artist would hide how much money they made from you because of what I just said. That's what they couldn't hide from you. Everything you see, like Drake's The Embassy, that's the money he couldn't hide from you. Like that, you can make that much off of music, either through advertising, sponsorships, television, acting, Hollywood. Your presence on social media or in a digital store, you just become the average of it. So you're in the same conversation as the people that are in charge of the internet. You get a check. So what are we looking at with me? You're looking at like more than $1 billion. You're looking at like keep them around. Like, how can we make this smoother? What do these people need to know? What verification do they need? Like, what is going on? They're saying he needs a record. Like, okay, so what does that prove? He could work for our company. Isaiah could work for Disney. He could work with an artist from Disney. These producers already worked with people from Disney. He makes beats. He just put a beat pack. What is going on? Like, he could give this beat to an artist and get a check off a guy that's before he signs or something, or what's going on? So that's all that's happening, and a lot of people think it's because the government's coming after them. It's just because music makes a lot of money, and they're finding out about it, and the IRS wants involved, and that's the only reason why the government is kind of like, helping with narration too, where it's like, we're making a lot of money now. Like, you'll say, if this is making a lot of money, help them. This is tax money. This isn't a game. Like, are you really making, okay, so we'll just take 30% out of all there and we'll put it into Social Security, we'll put it into funding, we'll put it into, give them raises. Like, does he really make money? Is this really his company? So yeah, okay, so we could have made 15 businesses in 50 years if we used his tax pay. What's the big issue? So that's what's going on right now. They're realizing that if you can make a lot of money. That's it. And you're seeing someone like me get special treatment because if you do it now, like you focus on the little things, Google spreads, narration, publicists, making sure real people know about me, letting people know through TV that this is the same type of guy and the same style, I guess they just make a lot of money. Concerning anything like a Grammy, you just have to keep working and you have to build a presence on your own. So I have my identity on my own, which means that I have real fans. Real fans means they're not leaving, they're real. They can meet me for real. They can see me for who I am. They can see whether or not I'm an act or not. I guess the leverage I have over the industry is I can play these instruments for real, and they'll say, is that why he did it like this? And they'll say probably, it's the safer way to do it. When I mean play real instruments, what am I on? 11? 40? Or 50? You can have a band and you can play this live. So even if it wasn't done perfectly, this is your sound. This is you created it. So all I need is a singer, a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer, and I have a lifetime supply of fans because this is my sound. And if I do the piano version, I can play it in front of them. That's my music. Isn't that cool? So because I made it, I don't even need to have it in a digital store because I can play my music and sing my music, and I can sing my music to you right now. That's it. I could rap my song right now. Forever. I made it. I could use your drum and say, this is my drum pattern for my song. You know what I mean? Like that's mine. I did that. But that's ours. If I've worked with people, he has a feature, he helped with this and that, making the. Concerning this home debate, this is the part where it's just one of those things where you're just gonna have to be patient. You want me to enter something great. You want me to enter having something that is not like a Prius. You want me to have something like a Bugatti. You want me to have something like a new Porsche, not old, new Porsche. Nice, new. Because if I pull up with an old vehicle, they'll make fun of me. You want me to have something new. You want me to have like a nice apartment. So here's the problem. You need to be very patient with real people who it took them years to make those things or to get to that point. You need to be very patient with them because they're giving you something great. They're not giving you something fast. They're not giving you something average. They're giving you something quality. So here's the reality. It might take 10 years for me to get that embassy, but they've already said he has an embassy. Just give us 10 years to acquire the finance to be able in the location, or have this guy basically live here for 10 years and they'll knock this down. But in 10 years, like a church setup or a fundraiser, he's going to have an embassy. He may have to stay at like a hotel or with a friend or something, or maybe with a celebrity or whatever, on the run, Airbnb. But in 10 years from this point today, Isaiah is going to have a very big home. It's already set in stone, like a football stadium or Dubai. But you have to be patient with the construction process of a dream being made. It doesn't happen overnight. Disney wasn't made overnight. Neither were these roller coasters, all this stuff. Like there's permits, permission, time, family. Just be patient with the bigger, great thing. Great, remember, doesn't happen overnight. If you say, we want him to have all these things though, then you're gonna have to be patient. That's just, if you don't, be fast and go at a regular, really rundown apartment. Or government, low income. If you want something great in music, you're gonna have to be patient. I know Drake probably had to wait a long time for that.